Alrighty, guys. So welcome. This is Tuesday. Tuesday's training call. Why is this not working? Someone tell me really quick if you can hear me. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So today is our Tuesday training call, and when we were trying to think of like what topics to that's always a good thing. Like we always want to know like what do you guys want to hear, right? Because sometimes you can feel like you've said everything, but sometimes that's not so. Why is this thing not working? I'm trying to but I went searching on the training center earlier, and I want to talk about this is something that I learned early on in my Scentsy journey, and I believe that it's super important for so many people to understand. So we're going to go over that in just a minute. As far as announcements go, you guys know that it is a new catalog season. Yay! So there's 5 people on, including myself right now. So I want you to type in the chat if you've already gotten your spring summer. You know what? Let me mute because I can hear a lot of background noise. I want you guys to tell me if you have already ordered your spring summer like your spring summer product list, your spring summer testers. Type in the chat if you have done that already. I want to see. Yes, way to go, Brianna. Yay! Yay! So have I. I'm waiting for them to get here, but I mean, what we got at what do you call it? What we got at what is it? World Tour. Yes. Why is my thing not working right? It's freaking me out right now. What we got at World Tour I already have, but I had to order more. So I'm waiting for that to come in. I added it to an order. So I am waiting for that to come. So yes, I'm glad that so many of you, I ordered more, just waiting as well. Yeah. I'm glad that you guys have that in order because, you know, sometimes we can tend to get ourselves behind if we don't have that already ordered and ready to go by the beginning of the month. So that's one thing for announcements. Second thing I'm going to talk about announcements for all of those who earn the trip. Make sure that you are paying attention to your emails and that you're going and that you're registering for whatever it is that you want. I think there's like a deadline for tomorrow. So make sure that you are RSVPing as they asked you by whatever date that they told you. I don't know if some dates are different, but I know mine is tomorrow. So check for that. The next thing is if you are local to Lucy and myself and any of the other directors, we are having a March team meeting. It will be at my house this Friday, March the 9th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure that you plan for that. We will have fun just like we always do. We haven't really talked about, we know we're going to have like spring products. We're going to talk about how to get your spring started off in full effect. And I mean, we are, again, it's so crazy because we're never in an incentive period like back to back. So this year is a little different, like we're in an incentive period. And I'm going to Mexico. I don't know about y'all, but make sure that if you are local, that you do come out and that you come and spend some time if you can. As many of you know, our team meetings, they, you know, if you get here a little late, great. If you want to stay a little later, great. Because I think as far as Lucy and Carrie, we're going to have a Scentsy slumber party. Anybody is welcome, but yeah, we're doing a little spending the night at my house. So That is this Friday, March the 9th. What else? Lucy, any other news that I'm forgetting?
If you have not registered for Scentsy Family Reunion, that is a huge investment in your whole life, personal and business. Just remember that stars are born at events. So with that being said, it's so worthful to invest that into your business and go. It is a tax write-off that you could use. All the other extra details as far as hotels and everything, yes, we're on our own. You have to look for your hotel. But just you could always room with people, save you money there. But if you could make it, make it. Like, do whatever you can to make it. And basically that's it. I didn't look at the news tab today. So I don't know. Well, I do know, just to remind you, and if you're new and you're kind of probably wondering where your order's at, because I know Scentsy spoils us with our delivery time frame. Just know, guys, that we have 7 to 10 business days for Scentsy to literally ship out our products out of the warehouse or wherever they're, either Coppell or in Boise. They have up to 10 business days to let that out. With it being last month, transition month, and the end of the transition month, and if you order like that last week or that last day, be prepared to wait that whole 10-day business day period, because of the transition, the change and all that. So make sure you are following up with your customers and letting them know that. They might get a little impatient because we're used to being spoiled, but just know. Other than that, nope, no other news.
Another thing is, make sure that I just pulled up our director pertinent information, so I just reminded me of a few things. Make sure that you understand that Scentsy did make some changes to the entertainment only packages for Scentsy Family Reunion, so that they can accommodate more consultants and their guests. If you have registered for the SFR, you'll need to select from the following early entrance options for you and your guests if it's applicable. So make sure that if you did sign up for when it was $100 and they changed it, make sure that you have gone to go and edit that and changed it, because it is not the same. They did make some changes. Make sure that you do that. Make sure, check out so I know many of you may have gotten the new email for the new and improved laundry liquid. Make sure that you are familiar with that. Nominations to nominate a consultant for the Shining Star Award. Nominations are due by April the 30th. So make sure that if you know what that is, that you are doing that. If you feel like you know someone that exemplifies the core values that Scentsy, the Shining Star Award is given each year to a Scentsy consultant who contributes the most to fulfilling the Scentsy mission and who best exemplifies our core values. So nominations forms can be found on the business reference tab in your workstation, and they are due by April 30th. Action plan workstation webinars. There is a recording. I will put that on our group page. If you guys actually did attend a world tour, then you kind of know what that was. But if you didn't, then we will throw that out for you so you can see what it is, and you can grab that off of your workstation. It was a really good action plan that we actually went through while we were there. So what else? I think that is about it for announcements. Okay, so let's just get started for what I wanted to share with you guys. So sometimes I believe that even as a leader that you have to go back to the basics. And I feel like this is something that I even hear, that I've even heard superstar directors talk about, if you always work your business like you were within your first 70 days, your business will always be popping, for real. But if you tend to not do that, then that's when your business can kind of get stagnant. It's not as, the momentum is not always building, and then our well runs dry, if that makes sense. So our training today is going to be about widening your circle of influence. So maybe you may be a consultant that is saying, I have asked everybody that I know if they want to buy Scentsy, but nobody does. What do I do now? Like, I don't know what to do. You have to understand that initially your safe zone is always going to be your family and your friends. Once that circle runs dry, for your business to be successful and to still keep that momentum, you have to branch outside of that circle of influence. Your people, which are your friends and your family, those are the people that influence you. Those are the people that you can go to and you feel super comfortable pulling out a bar and saying, girl, smell this. It smells so dang good. Like, and they just tell you, oh my gosh, I want a 6-pack of that. So that was the easy sell, right? That was easy because you know that person and you feel comfortable with that person. They are your circle of influence. Maybe you have a sister that just absolutely loves Scentsy and she sees what you're doing and she just comes to you and says, dang, I think I want to join. So she's still part of your circle. But when that circle, and I'm going to tell you that this is what I've seen normally that tends to happen. When people start, they start and they're so excited. They're asking everybody in their circle of influence, like, do you want to do this? Do you want to place an order? Do you want to do this? They get to their 500. One of them may have a party. One of them may join. So they hit lead really quick. And then they get to that point, and then everybody in their circle has already bought warmers. They've bought wax. And so they're probably just going to refill their wax every so often. Maybe a few of them, you may have shown them a new product and they want it. But eventually, your circle is going to run dry. And that is when you have to switch your mindset into, this is not just a hobby. This is now becoming a business. So I have to step outside of that box. I have to go outside of my circle of influence, which is my comfort zone. Okay. And this is when you're going to have to put in a little work. If you want to be successful and you want to promote up the ladder and you want to build a team and you want to sell more products and hit $2,000 a month, then this is when you have to put in the work, because it's not going to come easy. It's not just going to be handed to you, but there are several things that you can do to get outside of that circle and work your business. And a lot of this can be done in your day-to-day activities. You have to just be prepared. And I'm going to give you several tips on how you can do that. So first and foremost, who knows and I'm going to make this interactive and it can be through the chat. But who has made their list of 100? Comment in the chat. Do you even know what a list of 100 is? Awesome, Brianna. Yes, Marissa. Yes, awesome. And how often do you update that list and work from that list? I know some of us may have made the list of 100 and then we kind of just put it aside because it kind of, I already did that and I worked a little bit off of it. But you have to constantly, like, that is your follow-up list for new people. Once people order from you, then that's great, right? You put them in your follow-up system and then you follow up with them as, you know, whatever system it is that you're using, because I hope you're using a system. But then where are you trying to get new people that are going to come in and plug into your business? That list of 100 is something that you should always work from, okay? Your list of 100, if you don't have that list, you can download it off of your workstation. There is a PDF, and teach your team members to do the same. Everything that you do that has been successful, I really, really, really hope that if you have even one team member, that you're showing them how to do that same thing also. Okay. So list of 100, and you should be updating that and working off of it at least monthly, updating it monthly, marking off who you've talked to, following up with maybe 5 people a day or 5 to 10 people a week, whatever your time frame allows for, but that you're working off of that list, because that is a concrete document with ink that you can mark off who you've talked to, what they've said, how they've connected to your business, and you can always go back to that and see what happened along the way. But if you are not working off of a list like that and you're kind of just blindly selling to people here and there as you see someone, then you're not going to be as consistently successful as you would wish you would be. Okay? Number 2, after you exhaust your circle of influence, what are some other places that you can find customers, right? And when I say customers, I eventually mean customers, hosts, team members. Because if you've heard me train and talk about this, I say this all the time, that our business is a circle, literally. And your job as a consultant is to get that customer or that person to go through the cycle. Like, that is your ultimate job, is to get so good at your craft that when that person is a customer, you eventually turn them into a host and eventually turn them into a team member. Like, that's my end goal every time. I'm going to get you to be so hooked on Scentsy that you are going to want to join my team. That is my mindset. It's not that I want you to buy from me forever and ever. That's great if that is the outcome. But my goal mentally is that I'm going to get you to want to join my team. It's a cycle. But you got to find out where they're going to plug into your business first, okay? But where are you going to find these people? Because you already asked your mom, your sister, yes, I'm loving the chat. Exactly. You've already asked those people that you're comfortable with, that that you feel, are your normal set of your squad, right? Where am I going to find these people? Okay, festivals, events, trade shows. Guys, there are tons of free events, okay? Tons of free events. You just have to do the legwork and call and reach out and find the events. If you have a planner, I highly, highly recommend that you take an hour a week, even 30 minutes, to just focus on trying to call events. I'm not saying go and spend what you don't have for an event. I would never tell you to do that, ever. But what I'm telling you is there are tons of free events. Call your local chamber of commerce. Find out what it is to become a member. Sometimes when you're a member of the local chamber of commerce, you actually have like an advantage to go to these meetings with other people that you can network with, that you can become friends with, that will give you the 411 when there's any other vendor events that they know about. So you really have to network and create those connections with other people, okay? Festivals, events, trade shows. Call your local churches. Call your job fairs, guys. I know this is probably not something that you think of, but a job fair is an absolutely amazing place to set up a join station. Like, don't take product if you don't want to sell all the product, but set up a join station. Like, have recruiting folders, have pictures if you've ever been to any free trips. Have I don't know if you guys remember those little digital picture frames that they used to sell, and I think they still sell them, but they were like really, really hot for a minute. You could download like I remember I downloaded pictures of the Dominican Republic when I earned my first trip, and I would go to events and I would have that playing, and I would put in like, ask me how to earn a trip of a lifetime or things like that, because that is what catches people's attention. Okay. Learn to make your own event. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is there's so many local senior centers. There's retirement homes. There are nursing homes. You can call these places, and there is a coordinator at almost each one of them that already coordinates certain things and events for these people that live at these places. Call them, Ask them, when is their next event? Most of the time, those things are free, guys, free. They want you to go in there. They want people to come and show their people that live there these amazing things that they can, just to have them do something extra. Maybe you call some of your local businesses and you can tell them, look, I would love to partner with you and do an employee appreciation. I come in for an hour at your lunch break or whatever lunch break in your break room. I can set up a small station and I can kind of just have things here. I can have the aroma going. I can have the diffuser going, and just to show my products. But at the same time, you know, it can be like an employee appreciation for your for your employees. Maybe you have some type of negotiation with them that maybe they spend $5 per each person's order, or any type of package that you want to put together that you can have for them. You have to think outside of the box, because if you don't, someone else will. Literally, people do these things, and they are successful, but you could make up your own event in different ways like that. Let's see. I talked about making friends. This is something that I try to do at every event that I go to. I used to do a lot of events. I don't do so many anymore, but it's something that's on my list of to-dos. When I would have an event, I would try to get there at least 30 to 40 minutes early so that I could be earlier than what I normally would to just set up. But I want to do that because I want to be set up before my event starts, because I want to go network with the other vendors. I want to give them my card. I usually will make goodie bags and go take them to the vendors, because I want to create relationships with these people that have the insight and the know of any other vendor event happening, so that I can network and build those type of relationships. I mean, look at Lucy. Lucy joined because every time she was with her other company at a vendor event, she would see Scentsy, and she would be at the Scentsy booth half of the time, probably spending her money that she was making there. And she eventually decided to join, because every time she was at an event, she would see the Scentsy booth was on and popping, and she decided that she wanted to join because of that. Okay. Let's see. Call job fairs. Okay. Fundraisers. And I know several of the times we talk about, oh, how do we get fundraisers? Okay. So this is literally my focus. And I literally downloaded, the files that Wendy sent us the other day when she did, well, not the other day, it's been a little while, but when she did the call for us. And I'm literally going to print out 10 packages, because my goal, once it gets nice in the spring, is that I am going to go out to all, like, Saturday. That's going to be my thing. I'm going to take 2 Saturdays out of the month, and I'm literally going to go. I know that Grand Prairie is a big place because I see people there all the time. People having these car washes, organizations. Okay, if these people are out there on a Saturday, early as hell in the morning, and they're literally willing to go and do a car wash for the organization, why would they not want to do a Scentsy fundraiser? Like, why? They're already hustling to sit there and wash cars. Why would they not be willing to take a packet home and try to sell some Scentsy so that I could give them some money for the organization? But guess what? I wouldn't know that if I don't ever approach them with that. But if you had a package that you could go and you could give to them because they're already legit right there doing what you would be doing, if you had a fundraiser with them, why not approach them? So fundraisers, contact your local schools, your churches, your dance halls, or like dance squads, youth organizations, whether it's baseball, football, soccer. And like I said, all of these people doing these car washes, like, hello, that is a huge way to get into the know with fundraisers. If you don't even have a kid that is in organizations, don't use that as an excuse. There is 1,000 different fields that you could literally walk up to that have coaches, cheerleading coaches that you could approach by just walking in and talking to them about, could you use a fundraiser? If so, let me help you out. When can we schedule a time to talk? That simple. My next one is, this is one that in the next probably 3 or 4, I literally have done. And I'm going to give you some examples. Well, some of the other ones I have, but these are some that have really been successful for me. And I wanted to give you these examples. Okay. So when I very first started, I was a crazy person. I was that Scentsy. I drank the purple Kool-Aid and I was a crazy person. Like every single day I got up, Scentsy was on my mind. And I was like, I'm going to go try and meet like 15 new people today. And I'm going to share Scentsy with them. That was my mindset when I first started. And I was like, how the heck? I would always listen to Becca on our Saturday calls. And I remember her saying that when she had her fast start in the beginning, she literally had a warmer, 3 cubes from 3 different categories. And she would walk door to door in her little neighborhood. And she would say, knock on the door. Mind you, you're probably shaking because these people are going to think you're crazy. But she still did it. And she said, I just really wanted to share something with you. And I would love to know if you had some extra time, I could come in, plug this in, and you choose whatever cube you want to smell and let me know what you think about it. That's it. Nothing about selling, nothing about buying. I just want you to tell me what you think about this. She went in, and that is how Becca had her amazing start in the beginning, by going door to door. So guess what I took from that? I said, you know what? I'm literally going to Google where I'm at my job. And I earned the Shooting Star kit at that time. And that time, it was not what it is now. It was 10 pre-selected warmers, $200, just like it is now, but it was 10 pre-selected warmers. I ordered my 10 warmers, and I remember Becca saying, if you have warmers and you have bars sitting on your shelves, you are not working your business. Those warmers should be out in people's homes. Like, what do you have 10 warmers sitting on your shelves for if you're not going to use them? And especially if you haven't sold them in the past couple of months, put them in somebody's house and plug them in. So that's exactly what I did. I took 6 warmers and I said, you know what? These 6 warmers I need to get out today. I was scared as hell. I did not know what I was going to do. I was like, are you literally going to do this? And I said, you know what? I'm going to earn that Dominican trip and I'm going to do it. So I was at my job and I Googled apartment complexes within that zip code. I literally wrote down 6 apartment complexes. I had 6 warmers and I had bars in my car. And I had ordered like 10 of them that were the little drawing boxes. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go put up a display in 6 apartment complexes, or I'm going to try to do 6 apartment complexes, right? That was my goal because I had taken 6 warmers with me in my car that day. And I was just like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to walk in, and every freaking apartment complex that I did that to, do you think that I was scared? Heck yeah, I was scared. Do you think that I felt weird because people were going to tell me like, I don't know, or that I could get a no? Yeah, I was, but I did it anyway. I went to 6 different apartment complexes and I walked in with the warmer and 3 bars. And I said, look, I'm a consultant that is in your area and I just want to see if I can talk to whoever is in charge because I have something that I think would be absolutely amazing for you here in the front office, and not only for you, but for your tenants. I said it's a safer alternative to candles. And I know as an apartment complex, this is definitely something that you guys push to not have an open flame. So have you ever heard of Scentsy? And out of the 6, I put warmers in 5 apartment complexes. And I told them, if you let me leave this warmer here with this box, and if I come back and this box has drawing slips in it, then I will give you another bar for another week to keep it in there. And that is, I would supply them with wax there at the front office, and they were letting me put my brochures in their move-in packages. I had 2 people that actually joined from those 6 people. I had 3 parties from those 6 people. And I literally still have customers to this day that have spun off of what I did back then. I mean, it works, y'all. It works. You just have to do it. And you're going to feel scared. You're going to feel crazy. You're going to think people are like, this chick is out of her mind. But guess what? That's when you tell yourself if you're going to be successful or you're not going to be successful. So apartment complexes, that was a huge thing for me. And I remember that, I don't even know if she's on right now. I made my cousin go with me, right? Because I was like, she had just joined and she was my frontline team member at the time. I was like, I just need you to go and like just be behind me because I'm scared as hell, but I just need you to go with me. And she's like, okay, but I'm not going to say nothing. I was like, I don't care. Just come on. It's a training, right? It's going to be a training platform. So just come with me. I'm afraid that I'm not going to. Crap, I can't see. I'm afraid that I would not get them back. Look, I'm going to tell you this on that, Stella. You can be afraid to not get them back, but then think about what you're missing because you're not taking that opportunity. That's what I think about. A warmer, usually I will get free or half price. And if I sat there and I worried about that, then I wouldn't be going out and working my business. You know, what I would do is I would find that person that was at the front and I would get their contact information. I would make them fill out a sheet and I would just tell her I would come back. I literally came back and checked on them like from a week to 2 weeks between that time. And it worked. I want to say one I didn't get back because the person that I ended up leaving it to left. But that was okay because that to me was like marketing. That was my marketing that I was okay letting a $30 warmer go because I got so much back from the rest of the apartment complexes that it was worth it. It was totally worth it. I got so many contacts, drawing slips every week. So it really worked. Okay. Let's see. Your local businesses. You know, this is something that we used to do a long time ago and we haven't done it in a long time. And we literally would take it to the street days. We would have a day that we would do. We would pick a certain day. We would pick a time frame and we invited our team to come out. Usually it was like a shopping center or like, you know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Cedar Hill area. If you're here in Dallas, you know, next to Dallas or whatever. But you know, the little shopping center in Cedar Hill, like sometimes we would meet up at places like that. We would tell everybody to bring their samples and it was no meeting, no talking about any of that. It was action. So we would get out and pound the pavement, like literally drawing slips in hand, your samples. And we're just going to go into stores and we're going to, you see me, you see what I do, how I get a drawing slip out. Then the next store was you and you would go in and find someone, the cashier or someone that was there in line, and you would talk about, and you would do exactly what I just did. Like that is exactly how you work your business. And not only was it an action, we were working our business, but at the same time, anybody that was there, it was a training platform for them to see how to work their business every single day. Because you can't tell me I can't find new people. It's just that you don't know how, or you know how and you're scared and you won't pass that line of fear to do it. So local businesses, like you have to pound the pavement, like make goodie bags. You know, pick 10 local businesses or 5 local businesses. Make a goodie bag. Make it like I'm coming in. You know, I've passed by this salon so many times. I've never really been in, but I just wanted to come in and say hi, introduce myself. I'm an actual Scentsy consultant within your area, and I wanted to give you a goodie bag. Let me know what you think about it. Fill out the drawing slip, or you on Facebook if you don't want to do it like that. Add them right then and there, and you leave. You're giving someone something to use, to take, and you're not even asking them for a sale. But you're introducing yourself to another person, and you're introducing Scentsy to that one more person that can possibly change your business. Again, like I said, the nursing homes, the senior living centers, salons. What is a drawing slip? Does anybody have a drawing slip? I'm in my room and I don't have any. We need to tell Michelle what a drawing slip is. Anybody have one? Awesome. Thank you, Brianna. Let's see. Salons, massage parlors. Dude, we have diffusers. Do you know, if you really took the time to Google 10 massage parlors and walk in with a diffuser and plug it up for them and tell them how it works? Just imagine if one of the massage parlors says, I want a diffuser in every one of my rooms. What could that do? Okay, so let me see if I can spotlight video. Okay, Lucy has one. So this is a drawing slip, Michelle, and you can take these with you whenever you are out and about. When you have your samples, you can attach it to a sample. But basically, if you're just handing out stuff, you may not get much in return. But when you're getting people's contact information, and you see how it allows you to say, what are you interested on the side? Check any that interests you. So maybe they check, I want to learn how to make extra income. So once you leave from them, you have their contact information and you can follow up with them about the business opportunity. Maybe they say they want to know how to get free products. That could be your next host. But if you don't connect with these people somehow, some way, then you never will really know how you can connect and plug them into your business. And you can get these off the Scentsy Family store. You can buy them. They're super inexpensive. Or I think we even have several templates where you can print them out. So
true. I know on Becca's Make Team, haven't been on there for so long. It's Make It Happen, right? To Make It Happen. She has like some different ones. But she had told us that these are our lottery tickets. And I mean, I have a bunch. In a follow-up little basket. Because you collect these at events while people are coming to your table. And then like Jessica said, you collect them while you're out and about when you pass a sample out. Ashley, one of our Scentsy consultants and our team members, she had created these cute labels that I need to work on that tonight. We put a label, a sticker, and it says something like take a pic of this drawing slip when you fill it out and text it to me to be entered into my drawing. You could if I pull it up, I have it on my files. I'll load it up if it's not already on our team page. But that's really cool to put on there, because if you put these in your sample bags and you just leave it with somebody and they open that sample bag later on, they see this, they're going to send you a picture of it because they're going to want to get into your drawing. And you could do a monthly drawing for a scent circle or something like that, a sample wash or whisk or anything, but just to get their information. And if they put their email address, you want to immediately go into the workstation and put that into your customer base into the workstation so they could get your newsletter once a month that Scentsy sends out. So drawing slips are huge and they could work wonders in your business.
Yes. I'll give you an example really quick of what I used to do again in the beginning. And I keep on saying in the beginning, and I need to start doing all of this over again. But I'll tell you what I did, because my thing was, I always heard Becca talk about, you have to be in front of more people to get more opportunities to be successful. Because if you're not getting in front of enough people, that's why we struggle with getting $500 a month in sales. That's why we struggle with not hitting $2,000 in sales. That's why we struggle with not having people that want to join our team, because what it literally comes down to is that you're not in front of enough people. So my thing was like, well, heck, how can I get in front of more people, right? And I'll be totally honest with you, and I'm not going to knock or down parties, or I'm not going to knock or down events. Everybody works their business different. But when you are busy and you have 1,000 other things, you have to make this business work for you, not for the other person down the street, not for your new team member, not for your director. You have to make it work for you. And these are things that I did in the little bit of time that I had back when I first started to build my customer base, to build those people that I could find that were not in my circle. So what I did, these goodie bags that I talked about, I literally made goodie bags, and I was going to local businesses, and I would just walk in and I'd be like, hey, you know, I just want to give you a bag, blah, blah, whatever. It had like a sample. It would have a product list. It would have like some type of coupon and just a fun message on there. And I would just go leave it to them. And I would say, hey, you know, if you don't mind, if you can fill out this drawing slip, I do a monthly drawing every single month, and I would love to enter you into my drawing, right? So those 10 people that I walked into and I gave those to, every time I place an order, I get free and half price product, right? So guess what I would do? I would stock up on scent circles. Those were my prizes. Every person that filled out, depending on how many scent circles I got for free, every person that filled out a drawing slip was a winner. I didn't choose one person or two people. I contacted 10 people for that month. If I had 10 scent circles, if I had 15, I contacted 15. And I'd be like, girl, you are the winner. Like, I want to go take you this. Like, what is a good time that I can meet you, whether at your job or at your house, and I can take you your gift? Guess what? I would make it at a time that maybe they would give me 5 minutes of their time. I would tell them about Scentsy, how I was doing it, how I was being successful, how I loved it. I left them a scent circle. 9 times out of 10, that person bought, hosted, or ended up joining my team. And was I paying anything other than gas and my time? No. But that was exactly what I would be doing if I was having a party, right? I just did it in a little bit different manner because I couldn't have parties on Saturdays because I was working. So I did what I had to do, just a little different way, and I was steadily meeting new people. But I did that at the time that worked for me. Let's see, local businesses, nursing homes, put a warmer in there with displays, you know, just like I talked about at the apartments, and you can do that with local businesses. Find groups with common interests, whether it's local or it's online. There is an amazing website or app now, I think, that you can go to. It's called meetup.com, meetup.com. You can search by zip code. You can search by interest. You can search by anything. And you can literally join a group where you can go. Maybe it's photography that you're interested in. Maybe it's gardening. Maybe it's crafting. Maybe it's sewing. Whatever your interests are, there is a group on meetup.com for it. And you can join these groups. Most of them are free. Networking, mom groups. I mean, there's thousands of them. And you can go and meet a whole new group of people. And it's not so much going to be Scentsy related. You're not trying to sell anything. You're just building a relationship. So when the time comes and you meet these people, you can interject Scentsy to them, but after you've already built that relationship with them. These are people outside of your circle of influence. Remember that. Okay. Let's see. This was another good example, and my laptop is about to die, but I'm going to keep on talking as I get this extension cord. But another superstar director, Jennifer Anderson, had an amazing idea. So what she does is she goes on Groupon, and she finds like these painting with a twist, or I know there's all kinds of different things that you can find to do with groups on Groupon. And it can be super cheap. But that's how she goes and meets a whole new group of people. She will go to a painting with a twist. She will do like a like where you paint or do like a clay something or another where you make these certain things. Like she told us all these different things that she would literally go to Groupon for and find these super inexpensive ways to connect with another group. And she would meet people there. She would friend them on Facebook. And eventually, guess what? Because she brands the heck out of herself, people want to know what she's doing. They ask her about Scentsy. They become her friends. And bam, there you go. A whole new group of people that you didn't know prior to that. Okay. Referrals, guys. If you're not using a referral system, like, you're missing out. If you have a customer that just buys and you leave them at that, you are not using your arms and using your customers as your arms and legs to bring in more people. Like, you should have a referral system in place, and you should ask every single person that you write out a order form for, do you know of anybody that would absolutely love Scentsy, that you can refer them to me? If you find anybody that absolutely loves this scent or whatever, send them to me. And this is what I do for my referrals. Just remember, it is a personal special if you choose to do anything other than what Scentsy offers. So if you do that, just remember you can't post it publicly. It has to be one-on-one through Facebook message, through email, through text message, anything like that, like a private one-on-one platform. It cannot be, hey, I'm posting this. This is what I do for my customers. Can't do that. But for your customers, you need to let them know that you offer a referral system, and you will give them goodies for them bringing you people. Because I promise you, if you remind them of that, they will bring you people. I have always had a referral system in place, and my customers know that if you have anybody that ever tells you that they need or they're thinking about joining Scentsy and you send them my way and they join, I will give you a free warmer of your choice. That's what I do for my customers. And I can't even count how many times I've had people send me, hey, so-and-so, my friend wants to join, and I told her to join under you. Okay, well, where's she at? Give me her number. Is she on Facebook? And I go friend them, and 9 times out of 10, they will join. I had literally one of my newest recruits, a friend of mine, he's like, hey, somebody posted about, does anybody know a Scentsy Consultant? And, but I couldn't tag, for some reason, the tagging wasn't working or something. And I said, well, send me a picture of her profile. And I went, requested her, and I said, hey, you know, Rich told me that you were looking for someone who sold Scentsy, blah, blah, whatever. We started talking. She just wanted to buy a 6-pack, but guess what? As Jessica always does, it was the $49 special. And I said, girl, you're going to buy a 6-pack for $30. You might as well join for $49. And she joined my team. So referrals are huge, 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 huge. Brand yourself. If you do not go out every single day with something that people know what you do, you're missing out on opportunities. Because maybe you're not the type of person that feels confident yet in talking about your business. But if somebody sees that you are dressed with Scentsy gear and they have any questions, they're going to ask you, do you have a vinyl on your car? That is huge. I can't even tell you how many recruits, how many parties, and how many sales I've had by the vinyl on my car. The 50-10 rule. Do you know about the 50-10 rule? Every single month, you should make 50 samples and 10 recruiting packets, and they should be intentionally passed out and used. I will tell you that what I do every single month is I order the scent of the month. The scent of the month comes with 50 sheets. Those are my 50 samples that I pass out. And I always try to do more than 10 recruiting packets a month. My recruiting packets may not always be the same. They may not be fancy some months, but guess what? If it's just a join flyer and it's a sample and my story, because I put my story in every single thing that I like to hand out, but you're going to know about my opportunity because that's what pops in my head first and foremost, even before the product, is let me tell you how you can do the same thing that I'm doing. So the 50-10 rule, you should always, and when I say you should always have the scent of the month, that's why, because with those 50 flyers, That is how I gauge if I'm working my business. I make my scent of the month samples, and if I pass them all out, guess what? I talk to 50 new people about the Scentsy product or opportunity. But if I didn't, then guess what? You're slacking and you ain't working because you didn't pass out those 50 samples. And that's how I gauge how I am meeting new people every single month. You have to think outside the box, guys. If you're continuing to do what every other consultant does, if you're sitting to post the same workstation flyers that every other person is posting, you're not standing out. People are not going to notice you. They're not going to want to be attracted to you. You have to do things that are not in the box. You have to think outside of the box. Instead of just posting the same workstation flyer with the warmer on it, get that warmer that you got in your house and take a picture with it. Get that washer with sample that you put into your washer when you're doing it, and make a quick little video about how amazing your house smells because of it. That is what's going to make you stand out. Always, this is something that Becca has, I learned this early on and it stayed like engraved in my mind. You should never leave your house or your car without an on-the-go party. Never. I don't care if it has 10 samples in it, 10 little mini testers, and a few catalogs and some drawing slips. But you should never leave your house without a party on the go, because you do not know who you're going to run into. If you were to have that party on the go with you, and she did a challenge with this one time, that you for a full week could not leave your house without taking your party on the go, your basket party with you. When you go to Starbucks, I remember there's many times, Lucy, myself, Carrie, we'd meet up like once a month. Guess what we would do? You think we haven't already smelled the testers? Yes, we've smelled the testers 1,000 times. But when we would go to Hooters for lunch, we'd pull out our testers. They would all be on the table. Before you knew it, everybody was coming like, what is this? I want to smell. I want to see what this is. I want to, they wanted to know what it was. But if we don't ever pull that stuff out, people ain't going to ask. They ain't going to know because we're not working our business. I remember when my son would have practice and I hated to go to practice. I'm like, boy, that is why you have your dad. I don't like going to practice. I will go to games all day, but I'm like, I got things to do. But sometimes you had to do your mom duties when my husband wouldn't get out of work on time and I would have to go. So I would go. It was hot. I didn't like it. But guess what I did every single time that I went to practice? I made samples. And as I was sitting there in the heat, I was making samples, closing them, putting the labels on them, and that's stapling. Literally, I would take my backpack and I would do that. Before you know it, I had already handed out 5 to 10 product lists. People were asking me because they're like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, that smells good. What is that? You do Scentsy? Yep. And one conversation led to another. But you have to create those opportunities, because if you're not, your business is not going to be successful. Do you know your products? Janica did an amazing job last week when she talked about this. Guys, when you have free and half price product, go and step out on a limb. Don't get the same thing again. Maybe this time get washer with samples so you can give those out instead of wax samples. Maybe get some room sprays so if you don't have any, so you can use them. Maybe you want to get some of the body line so you can use it and you can show your customers or really tell your customers, a true review of how you love, or maybe not so much love, the product. But you have to use your product. If you are not using your product, you're never going to know how amazing that product is to be so excited to sell that product. I'm going to tell you, and this is something that I say over and over and over. So many people say I'm not a salesperson, and I said that the same way when I joined Scentsy. But I'm going to tell you something. I want you to think about this. When you find a product that you absolutely love, what is the first thing that you do? You cannot wait to go tell somebody else about this amazing lipstick that you just got. It is the perfect shade of red. It is matte. It does not come off. I don't know what I would do without this lipstick. You're raving about it. Guess what? You just told that person that they needed to buy that product and how much you loved it. And you did it without being salesy, okay? How many times do you go to an absolutely amazing restaurant? You loved it. You loved the customer service. You loved the enchiladas that they had, whatever it was. And then somebody else, or you're out talking to a friend and you're like, girl, we just went to this absolutely amazing restaurant. They have the best margaritas. They have the bomb enchiladas. You are basically telling them that you need to go to this place. You need to go purchase from them because it is thebomb.com. You're not a salesperson, and neither are we. What you do is when you love your product enough, you rave just like that about it, and people want to also have the product. That is exactly what you do to be successful. But let me tell you, if you don't use other products, you're not going to be able to rave about it because you don't use it. So if you are entering parties and you're getting free and half price product, get new products. Let's see. And my last thing is, you really have to be personable in this business. In the beginning, I remember, and this was like, I told myself when I first joined Scentsy, I was like, I don't even know that part about building a team. Like, that doesn't even like sound nothing like what I would do. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go sell a lot of product and just make a big fat check. That was my mindset, right? But I was like, I don't got time to make these people my friends. I don't got time to like, do one-on-one customer service. Like, I don't have time for that. I'm just going to offer the product to whoever's there. If they want it, they buy it, great. And that was it. Okay. I understood really quick that if I wanted to be successful in this business, that I had to build relationships and I had to be real and I had to be genuine and I had to really dig deep and I had to know why I loved my product and why I love my business. And if I can give you any advice I remember I had someone tell me, I don't got time to do all that follow-up and build relationships the way you're talking about. Like, I just don't. And I said, well, you know what? I hate that you feel like that. I said, but I'm going to tell you something. You won't ever be successful in this business. You won't. You may be for a hot second, but you won't stay successful because in this business, we're not a department store. We don't have a retail location where people can come in and out, in and out, in and out. You have to build relationships. You have to build loyalty with your customers. You have to give great customer service because when you do all those things, your customers are not going to go anywhere. I can promise you that. But you have to be real. You have to be genuine. You have to be trustworthy. And that is when you're going to have customers for life. And eventually those customers are going to turn into hosts. And eventually those hosts are going to turn into new team members. They're going to go through that cycle that we talked about. So that is just what I wanted to talk to you about. I know that some of you may think that that was kind of basic, but I hope that it did give many of you ideas on how to step outside of your circle, because your circle is your comfort. This is your comfort zone. It is your comfort zone. You have a mom, sister, brother, cousin, everybody in there, BFF. And then once you've already talked to all of them, well, who the heck do you talk to? That's when you got to start putting in work. And the only way to get outside of that circle is by doing all of these things over and over and over and over again. The first year, the second year, the third year, the fourth year, the seventh year, the eighth year for Lucy, it does not change. You have to consistently be building and bringing more people, being in front of more people to share your products, your parties, and your actual opportunity with. That is what our business is about. I know we've gone over time, but does anybody have any questions? Anybody? And it doesn't have to be a question about what we talked about. You're welcome. You are welcome, Stella. Let me see. I have to open this up. Let's see. I can't read. For the drawing slips, can I get a template for that? Go to our page and see. I'm more than sure you can find one there. If not, I know on the workstation, I believe there's a template for drawing slips also. If you check both of those places and you can't find one, inbox Lucy or myself and we can find one. But I'm more than sure if you check one of those places, they used to have a drawing slip template on the workstation. Things changed so much with there, so check there. If not, check on our page and go through the documents and the files, and I'm sure that you can find one. You're welcome. Lucy, you have anything else?
No, ma'am, you caught me with my mouth full of ice. No, great call, very informative. If you have a new consultant you may want and they weren't on this call, make sure they listen to the recording because lots of good information for them.
I will definitely get this one uploaded. And I don't think something was wrong with the last one. I don't know why it wouldn't upload. I don't know if the file got I don't know. But I will convert this one over and hopefully have it up by tomorrow. But yeah, just like Lucy said, I would highly recommend that you have any new consultant listen to this. Maybe give them a challenge to listen to it after the fact, because this is a lot of even in the beginning, and even when you've been a customer, a team member for a while, and maybe you're just saying, I'm kind of stuck. I feel stuck. How do I, get out of the people that buy from me all the time or whatever? These are the things that you have to do if you want to be successful. These are the things that you do to get outside of your comfort zone. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be the first one to throw myself under the bus. It ain't easy. And you're going to feel scared and you're going to feel like a crazy person. And I promise you, but I'm going to leave you with this. I remember our superstar director, Heather Earl, did a training. And right after this training that she did is when I decided that I'm just going to do it, because I'm a person that I've always been like that. I always worry about what other people think, right? And I was really bad about that when I first joined Scentsy. And now, you call me crazy, I don't care, but I'm going to give you a sample. But in the beginning, I was really, really, really bad about that. Like, I struggled to give the cashier a sample because I literally was like, I went in my mind, was like, she's going to think I'm crazy. She's going to think I'm crazy if I ask her to fill out this drawing slip. Like, literally, why am I doing this? Like, that was I fought with myself every single time I pulled out a sample to give somebody a sample. But I listened to this training and Heather said this. It was the 112th degrees. So at like under 112, that 1 degree can switch the motion of making an actual, I have to go back and listen to the actual training, but of actually moving a train, okay? So the pressure or the go that you get by 1 more degree can have that big of an impact on moving something. And I remember her saying, it's just like our business. There's a line, and that line is the 112th degree. And you have a choice. You can choose to stay on this side where it's comfortable, where you stay in your circle of influence, where you talk to only the people that you know, and those people may order every so often, and you're those people that are getting maybe $200 every second or third month, and you have a check mark. Or you can decide to go past that line, which is that 112th degree, and you can go to what is waiting for you on the other side, which is success. It is getting the yeses. It is being okay with hearing a no because you know that the next person could be a yes. You earning the annual mentor award because you've talked to so many people and you've recruited so many people. You earning the annual sales award because you kick butt in sales. And earning and being successful with all that comes along with going past that line of fear, because that's all it is. That's all it is. It's the fear of what they may say, of rejection, of hearing no, of what you think people might think of you. But guess what? It's just like any other business. You have to make the choice if you want to cross that line and you want to be successful, or you want to sit in what's comfortable and be complacent. And that never gets you anywhere. So I'll leave you guys with that. Remember, this Friday, if you are local, we would love to have you at my house. The address is there. If you have any questions, reach out to us. And that's about it. It is March the 9th. Remember, if you didn't hear the announcements, make sure that you go back and you can read those. And I highly listen to those. I highly recommend that if you're on the call and you have a team member, that you, once this is uploaded, that you really challenge them to listen, because these are the stepping stones to becoming successful. The little things that you have to do if you really want to build momentum in your business. And they can build it faster than you know what to do with, because believe me, it happened to me. When I started doing these things, I had so much momentum that I kind of didn't know what the heck was going on in the beginning. But it was an amazing feeling. So that's it, guys. I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope that this helped you. And until next week.